Welcome back to the Trailing Hannah YouTube channel. I am getting ready to leave for the Long Trail in a few days, and I just wanted to film a kind of a gear video, gear and logistics. So if you're curious what it looks like to get ready for... What are you doing? He wants to be part of the video. I know. So if you're curious what it looks like to pack and get ready for a 3-week-long backpacking trip, this video is just that. So first, I wanted to start out with clothing, what I'm going to wear on the trail. So first I have this very lightweight, dry fit New Balance running shirt. It's kind of a mesh shirt that will dry really quickly if it gets wet, or if I jump in a river or a lake to cool off or something like that. And I was looking for something that was loose fitting and not really constrictive. And then I have 6-inch Nike shorts. These are like a compression style short, and they're long enough that they're going to be comfortable on trail, and they're also going to be like moisture wicking and just like a dry fit material as well. In my last video, I talked about the Injinji toe socks and my Ultra Lone Peak 9 trail runners. I will be wearing those as well. And I think the last thing is my buff. It's just a regular buff from EMS, which doesn't exist anymore, but it's multi-purpose, where it'll keep my hair out of my face and it can wipe away sweat if I need it to, or I can dunk it in some water and use it as like a cooling headband or neck gaiter if I need to. With that, let's talk about gear. This is everything I am bringing on the Long Trail. It's a 273-mile trail from the border of Massachusetts and Vermont all the way up to the Canadian border through the state of Vermont. So roughly, I'm assuming it'll take about 3-ish weeks to complete. So yeah, this is everything that I am bringing with me. So first and foremost are my trekking poles. These are just black diamond trekking poles with the cork handle. They are adjustable. There's little levers that you can adjust the length of them, and just the standard tips that came with them. I don't always hike with trekking poles, but on longer distance hikes I do, because it can take a lot of pressure off of your knees on downhills. It can definitely help with water crossings with your balance and everything like that. Also, on one of my trekking poles, I have some duct tape here for anything from gear repair to, a Band-Aid if I run out of regular Band-Aids or anything like that. Duct tape is always really handy to have no matter what. So I keep that on my trekking pole so I don't have to find room for it in my bag or carry it or anything like that. Next is my fanny pack. I did not hike with a fanny pack on the Greenway because this pack does have some pockets on it, but because this is a longer trek, I went with a fanny pack for some extra storage. Also, for when I'm in town, I can leave my bag at like a hotel or a hostel where I'm staying or whatever, and I can just take this out to dinner, or if I'm doing laundry at a laundromat, I can just, have this for easy access and not have to carry everything with me. So in my fanny pack, in the back pocket that sits right against me, is this little wallet that I ordered from Hilltop Packs. If you've never heard of Hilltop Packs, they make these super lightweight bags and things like that, and they come in all kinds of colors. You can have them printed on and stuff like that, but they were amazing. I found them maybe like 8 days ago and placed a huge order with them, and I told them I was leaving pretty shortly, and they rushed this order to me, and it got to me in plenty of time. So shout out to Hilltop Packs. They did an amazing job. But yeah, so this little wallet is just gonna hold my ID, my credit card, and some cash if I have some on me. And that stays in the back pocket. In the very front pocket here, all I have right now is just a bottle of hand sanitizer in a bag in case it leaks. And in the main compartment, I have chapstick. I have my knife right here. I have my wireless headphones here, as well as my headlamp. I like to keep my headlamp in my fanny pack or in my hip belt pocket so that it's super easy to access, and if it starts getting dark or if I, have to get up in the middle of the night or something, it's right there, and it's easy to use. I did end up upgrading my headlamp from the last backpacking trip I was on. This is the Nightcore NU25, I believe. And it is extremely lightweight. It has these like bungee cords that go around your head. But it's just a brighter headlamp, and it's also rechargeable. It doesn't use batteries. So that's, one less thing that I have to carry since I'm already carrying a bunch of charging cords anyways. I figured I might as well add that to the list. So that's my fanny pack. There will also be a bunch of snacks in here that I'll just, when I wake up in the morning, I'll put the snacks for the day in here and the hip belt pockets so that I can just grab them as I'm walking. I don't have any in here yet because I haven't done that yet, but that's my fanny pack. Moving over to my bag. First, I have my camp shoes, just a pair of regular Crocs hanging on the outside with this little like rubbery gear tie thing here. I have my Garmin InReach Mini. This is my satellite communicator and SOS button in case I need it. Hopefully I don't, but I keep that attached to my pack, and I stuff it in here in case something goes wrong, like this breaks or I lose the carabiner. In here as well, I have my raincoat, easy access, that I don't have to dig through my pack for it. It's right in the front pocket. And I have my camp mug in here as well. It's just kind of like bulky and extra, so I didn't want to put it in my bag, but it just sits right in there. On this side, I have an extra little bug light. It's just a tiny little light with legs that wrap around a strap. I don't necessarily know if I'll need it, but it weighs almost nothing, and it's just like an extra little thing to have on my pack. I have 2 smart water bottles, 1 liter each. I figured one of them I'll use for electrolytes every day, and the other one I'll just keep as clean water, and I'll refill them as I go. Also in this side pocket is my water filter, my Sawyer Squeeze, and my 2 liter CNOC dirty water bag. This is the bag that I use to grab dirty water from, rivers, streams, lakes, whatever that may be. And then I use this filter and I filter it into the water bottles. On this side of my pack, I have my tent. This is both the interior like bathtub and bug net, and also the tarp that goes on top. I have my Kula cloth. This is an antimicrobial cloth for going to the bathroom, number 1. And this gets washed and reused, and it is antimicrobial for a certain amount of time. But yeah, it's like folds in on itself, so it's not like touching anything else. And then new to my gear this time, I have a lightweight umbrella because the Long Trail is a notoriously rainy trail. So it would be great to not have to use that, but we'll see. And then in one of my hip belt pockets, I also have my tripod. This is what I use to put my phone on, which is what you guys are being filmed on right now. But I use this, and the legs bend and can wrap around a tree branch, or they stand up and can stand on a rock or something like that. But I just keep that in my mesh side pocket, and then the rest of these pockets will be filled with snacks throughout the day, just so I can grab them easily. In the top part, the brain of my backpack, I keep things that I want easy access to, so that includes my bathroom kit right here. Inside that we have a trowel and some toilet paper. And like I said, my hand sanitizer is in my fanny pack, so that will be on me at all times as well. I keep a hat for both sun protection as well as if I have my rain hood up, it just stays up better if I have a hat with a brim on it. I have a teeny tiny little bug net and my first aid kit. So in my first aid kit, I have inhaler because I do have asthma. I don't use it often, but you know, if the air quality is bad and I'm really like working really hard, I have that I can use. I have some KT tape. This is great for both taping up like knees if my knee starts hurting or giving me problems or whatever, as well as I've used this for blister prevention, like taping like just around the back of my heels or around my toes. So that's multi-purpose as well. I have a couple things. I have ibuprofen, I have Benadryl and Imodium in here, which are like the big three on trail. Obviously, those are going to be really important. If you need them, you really need them. Bug spray. That's kind of self-explanatory. I have Benadryl itch relief stick. When I get bitten by bugs, which is like every time I go outside, they love me for some reason. And I welt up pretty good when I get bug bites and they itch for days. So this is a little bit of a luxury item, but it's something that is really important for me because the bugs love me. And then some Band-Aids. I have like a random assortment of Band-Aids. The last thing I want to get is little packets of like triple antibiotic ointment, just in case I have a cut or, you know, something that I need to clean. These are also two of the ones that I ordered from Hilltop Packs, which is super awesome. I love things that are color-coded because they're so much easier to grab than trying to remember what you put in which pouches. These are pretty self-explanatory. Also in this little pouch on my strap right here, I have my sunglasses. I don't know if these are the ones that I'm going to bring, but I just threw them in here for the video, so that's where my sunglasses will sit. All right, now for the inside of my pack. So this is a 55-liter pack. I think it's probably perfect for what I'm bringing. I am not ultralight by any means. I think, you know, somebody with more experience, lighter weight gear that really has their setup dialed in could probably get away with a 45-liter pack or a 40-liter pack maybe, but not me. So on the top of my pack, I have my toiletries bag. This bag has a syringe for back flushing my water filter. Now, this probably isn't necessary if I grabbed one of the smart water bottles with like the little drinking spout thing, because you can kind of use that to back flush your filter. But I don't have one of those, and this is pretty lightweight, so I'm just bringing it until maybe I buy one of those water bottles on trail. I don't know. Also in this toiletries bag is Sea to Summit wipes. They're like wet wipes basically. These are really great. I love these. At the end of the day when I'm, you know, getting ready for bed, I like to kind of like clean myself off a little bit because I get super sweaty, super covered in dirt. I like to wash my face, definitely my feet. It's really important to take care of your feet, especially on a trail like the Long Trail where it's super muddy and wet. Yeah, so these are going to be important. I have a small little thing of Dr. Bronner's camp soap. This is good for washing both myself and my clothing if I need to. It is like all natural. It can be used to rinse off in a river if I really need to, but it's like not gonna harm the environment if I wash my hands before dinner and use this and just rinse it off like over the dirt. I have an anti-chafe stick. If you know, you know. that is one of the worst things that happens on trail, or on just any long distance day. This is a lifesaver. There's a lot of different brands of it, but that's just the one I had. I have a toothbrush and toothpaste in here. I have nail clippers, and I also have tweezers in here. Now, I know you're gonna say you brought a toothbrush and toothpaste, but no floss. Well, I did bring floss, but this little pill bottle here is actually a gear repair kit. So inside of it, I have a small little thing of floss right here. And I also have some tenacious tape, which works on gear. And I have a needle in here as well. So if something happens where I need to stitch something up, that's kind of the second use of this floss here, but I can also use it to floss my teeth as well. Next up is this little pod from Peak Designs right here. It's super lightweight. This is where I'm keeping all of my clothing. So in here, I have a t-shirt and shorts to sleep in. These are my sleep clothes, that I'll change into at night when I get to camp. I have an extra pair of wool socks. I have this fleece. It's like a microgrid fleece from Sam Bob. It's super, super lightweight, but it's very, very warm. I have rain pants. The reason I keep these in the pod inside my pack and not on the outside with my raincoat is that I almost never wear these, but I'm bringing them just as an extra layer in case I need them. And also, my idea is that I'm just gonna wear my rain gear while I'm doing laundry in town, because I'm gonna need to wash everything I'm wearing. So yeah, it's just like an extra layer. I do have an extra pair of underwear in here, and then gloves and a hat. I don't expect it to get so cold that I need gloves and a hat, but maybe towards the end of trail, at the end of August, like first thing in the morning, that might be necessary. But yeah, we'll see. Next, I have my electronics case. Aside from my phone, which I'm filming on, I also have the Coros Verdix 2. It's a watch. It's got GPS tracking, and the battery life is like super, super long. So there's that. And then my Garmin InReach are the only 3 electronics that are not in this bag. Inside the bag, I have 2 Anchor battery chargers. These are pretty heavy, and most people probably wouldn't need 2, but because I am making YouTube videos and my phone seems to die kind of quickly, I would rather be safe than sorry, especially because I use my phone mostly for navigation too. Yeah, I just don't want to run out of battery on trail. So these are probably overkill, but I'm taking them anyways. And then I also have this Anchor charging block. The little things fold out, and then it has 3 ports, so I can charge 3 different things at the same time. With that, I also have various cords. Everything I have is rechargeable, so this is a really important pack. It might be a little heavy, but I don't know, I think the weight is worth it. Next, I have my Thermarest sleeping pad. This is an inflatable sleeping pad that I've used. This is the only one I've ever had. I did end up caving, and I bought a tiny inflatable pump. So 1.6 ounces or something like that. Like, it's super, super lightweight, but it's going to inflate my sleeping pad and my pillow much quicker than I could, and with far less energy. So yeah, I kind of spoiled myself with that one. Next, we have my food bag. This is huge. I've never carried 5 days of food before, but this is it. So this is a Hilltop pack bag as well. Like, they sent me this as well, and this is amazing. It's very lightweight for the bag, but the food is heavy. And then this little rock bag and carabiner came with another food bag that I was using. but I like this rock bag, so I'm gonna keep it with this. I'll cut to showing you all the food that I had laid out and then packaging it in little, daily pouches. So inside the food bag, I portioned most of my food into little quart-sized bags. In these bags is roughly about 1,500 calories. This one doesn't have it, but most of them have like a breakfast. This is my day one food, so I'll be eating breakfast before I get on trail. So they'll have like a breakfast in there with a little like instant coffee as well that I can have at camp before I leave. And then the rest of the snacks throughout the day, I have like, a smoothie with like protein in it. I have a protein bar, some Rice Krispie treats, some Cliff Blocks, which are really good energy chews for when I'm, feeling kind of tired and all that stuff. And then in addition to these portioned out bags, I also have like extra snacks such as, Snyder's pretzels, gummy candies, that kind of thing. And then also in the bottom of my food bag, I have my dinner. So my camp meals, my dehydrated meals that are like 400 to 600 calories and 28 grams of protein. That'll be something that I cook at camp or near camp. And then also with that, I have my titanium spoon. When I get to camp to cook my meals, I have my pot and my stove in here inside of a bandana. This bandana can be used to clean, if the bottom of my tent gets wet, I can dry it with this, or I can clean the pot out with it after I cook. So this is the Jetboil Stash. It comes with a lid. This is my fuel canister. I have a stand that folds out that my fuel sits on. I have my actual stove right here. This stove screws into the top of this and the pot sits on top. And then I have a lighter. Another thing inside my tent, poles. These are just, on the side next to my tent. And then last but not least is my sleeping bag. I went with a new sleeping bag this time. So I currently have the REI Magma 15 sleeping bag. It is a mummy bag and it is super, super warm. I don't think I'm gonna need a 15-degree mummy bag in August on the Long Trail. It's pretty hot out. So what I did was I got the REI Magma 30 quilt. So this quilt does have a zippered foot box, so you can close it. You can open it as well if you need to. And it will cinch closed here. And then the rest of it is open, but you can tie it shut either around yourself or around your sleeping pad. And yeah, I'm really excited about this. It's super comfortable, extremely lightweight. It shaved about a pound off of my other sleeping bag. So I'm really, really excited to try this out. Oh yeah, and my pillow. It's just a little inflatable pillow that I got off of Amazon and it works great. So yeah, that is everything that I am bringing with me on the trail. For navigation purposes, I will be using the Far Out app, and also, I'm loading the route on my watch as well. The Far Out app is really important because it has real-time comments and updates on waypoints, and waypoints can include water sources, shelters, mountaintops, road crossings, shuttle services, anything like that. Anyone that's using the app and has gone through recently can leave a comment and say, hey, this water source is good, or hey, the one in 0.5 miles is better. It gives a lot of information on hostels and, towns that you can get to, shuttle services from road crossings into those towns, whether those towns have grocery stores or just little markets that you can resupply at, where's a good place to stay. Yeah, all that information is kind of updated in real time with people that are hiking the trail currently. And yeah, I'm really excited to get going on this. So far, I have planned my first 4 to 5 days on trail. I am planning on getting into town roughly between day 4 and day 5, depending on how I feel. I have 5 days worth of food, so I'm gonna try to get there in 4 days, but if I'm tired or my body's not feeling it, then I'm definitely giving myself the 5 days. I don't want to burn myself out on this like I did on the Greenway. So yeah, we're getting down to the wire. I'm going to be leaving here in a couple days and getting on trail. I will be vlogging on trail, so I will try to kind of explain everything as I go and show all the logistics and, you know, what the trail is like and how I plan and make decisions and that kind of thing. But yeah, if you're interested, follow along, and yeah, I'll see you on trail. Real quick, editing Hannah joining you here. I just wanted to go over real quick that my base weight of my pack, so without any food and water, is just under 19 pounds. So not ultralight, but still pretty good. It's lighter than my pack's ever been before. With 5 days of food and 2 liters of water, it weighs about 32 pounds, which feels heavy, but that's pretty good for 5 days of food. If you have any questions about what I packed, in the description down below, I will link my lighter pack list, which literally lists out everything that I'm bringing, and it kind of categorizes it and stuff like that. Also, I had a couple people ask me how they can help with the Thru-Hike. I'm not asking for donations or anything like that, but for the people that asked how they could help, I will also link my Venmo down below. Please do not feel obligated. I'm not asking for anything like that, but I will just put it down there for anyone who wants to, you know, buy me a coffee or something like that. So yeah, I'm getting really excited. It is almost time. So I will see you in my next video, which should be first day on trail. Bye. These are also, Jesus. Oh, damn it. Oh my God.